53 years of waiting. New York Knicks, 2025-26 NBA Championship pure. Tonight is not just an ordinary basketball night. Tonight is redemption. Tonight is history. Tonight, after 53 long, painful, heartbreaking years, the New York Knicks are officially NBA champions. If you grew up a die-hard Knicks fan in New York City, you know exactly what this half-century pain means. 1973 was the last time our franchise lifted the Larry O'Brien Trophy. Baby boomers witnessed that glorious championship run. Generation X grew up watching Patrick Ewing fall short twice on the grand finals stage. Millennial fans suffered through the messy losing era of Stephon Marbury and Carmelo Anthony. Generation Z fans only heard old stories about the Knicks' golden legacy. 4 generations of New York fans waited. 4 generations doubted. 4 generations kept faith. And finally, the curse is broken. Before we break down the 53-year franchise roster changes, front office failures, rebuild cycles, and every core player's championship contribution, let's walk through the complete 2025-26 championship run, round by round, game by game. This is exactly how this group of Knicks players wrote the greatest comeback fairy tale in modern NBA history. Full 2025-26 Knicks championship journey recap. Regular season struggle and second-half dominance. Let's go back to the 2025 NBA opening night last October. Nearly all league analysts ranked the Knicks as a top 5 Eastern Conference team, not a legitimate title contender. The reason was simple. This brand new starting 5 was built totally via trades and free agent signings. 0 homegrown drafted starters on the floor. Karl Anthony Towns struggled badly in his New York debut, mismatching the team's offensive and defensive rhythm completely. Through the first 25 regular season games, the Knicks held a mediocre 13-12 record, ranking 8th in Eastern defensive efficiency. Knicks fans flooded social media, calling for Josh Hart's trade, questioning Jalen Brunson's ability to be a true franchise leader. To make things worse, the Knicks lost a preseason home game against San Antonio Spurs, and the whole league mocked us. New York still cannot beat San Antonio after 27 years. Everything changed in January 2026, after a closed-door team meeting led by head coach Mike Brown. Brown restructured the whole offensive scheme, building a 3-core system. Towns stretches the floor at high post. Brunson attacks the paint in isolation. OG Anunoby locks opposing stars in full-court defense. The Knicks caught fire instantly, notching a stunning 28-7 record for the rest of the regular season. The team finished 58-24, locking the number 2 seed in the Eastern Conference standings. Brunson stabilized his elite output with 27.8 points and 7.1 assists per game. Towns fixed his lazy interior defense habit from Minnesota days, lifting the Knicks' offensive and defensive efficiency both into top 5 league-wide. The championship blueprint was fully completed at that moment. Playoff run, no Game 7, total dominance over Eastern rivals. This playoff journey was never easy, but it was pure toughness. No lucky bounce, no fluke victory, no Game 7 heartbreak. The Knicks earned every single win. New York Knicks 4-1 Miami Heat. Miami's classic zone defense gave the Knicks huge trouble early on, limiting Towns' three-point shooting badly, splitting the first 2 games evenly. Coach Brown adjusted rotation quickly, using Josh Hart's aggressive offensive rebounding and Mikal Bridges' off-ball movement to crack Miami's zone setup. Jalen Brunson averaged 12 fourth-quarter points per game to close out contests, eliminating the Heat smoothly to advance to East semis. Eastern Conference semifinal. New York Knicks 4-2 Boston Celtics. This series was the toughest test of the whole playoff run. Boston's Tatum and Brown dual-core balanced offense and defense perfectly, owning the best home winning percentage across the league. Both teams protected home court steadily. Jason Tatum hit a buzzer-beater game winner in Game 5, giving Boston the series match point. Facing elimination, OG Anunoby delivered a legendary defensive performance, holding Tatum to just 31% field goal percentage. Brunson dropped 38 road points to force Game 6. The Knicks closed out the Celtics at home in Game 7, beating their longtime Eastern nemesis for the first time in a decade. New York Knicks 4-0 Cleveland Cavaliers. This series belonged solely to Jalen Brunson. Cleveland built its twin big lineup with Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen specifically to limit Towns inside the paint. However, Brunson's unstoppable pick-and-roll gameplay destroyed Cleveland's perimeter defense night after night. He averaged 31 points and 8 assists per game, winning the Eastern Conference Finals MVP unanimously. 27 years later, the New York Knicks returned to the NBA Finals, facing the exact opponent that broke our city's heart in 1999, the San Antonio Spurs. It was a destined revenge series. Finals revenge. 4-1 beat Spurs. 53-year drought ends. Let's dive deep into this unforgettable finals rematch against San Antonio, the team that defeated our injured 1999 Knicks squad and stole our championship dream. Spurs home victory. Victor Wembanyama dominated both ends inside the paint. San Antonio outscored New York heavily in restricted area. The Knicks fell short on the road, and most media outlets picked the Spurs to win the title. Knicks road comeback. Mike Brown switched defensive matchup, assigning Towns to defend Wembanyama one-on-one, letting Anunoby guard San Antonio's top perimeter scorer. The Knicks solidified half-court defense, tied the series 1-1 on the road. Knicks home win at MSG. The whole arena lit up with Knicks blue lights. Jordan Clarkson exploded off the bench, carrying the second unit to build a steady lead. New York took a 2-1 series lead for the first time. Historic 29-point finals comeback. This is one of the greatest games in NBA Finals history. San Antonio built a 29-point fourth-quarter lead, inches away from lifting the trophy. But the Knicks staged an unbelievable rally. With 17 seconds left, OG Anunoby flew in for a putback game winner. 107-106 Knicks win. This comeback crushed San Antonio's mental state completely, giving New York the championship match point. Championship-clinching road win at AT&T Center. Towns picked up 4 early fouls in the third quarter, forced to sit on the bench, and the Spurs launched a fierce comeback to tie the game in the final 2 minutes. On the biggest stage, Jalen Brunson delivered immortality. He scored 11 consecutive points in crunch time, hitting mid-range jumpers and clutch free throws without any mistake. Final score, 94-90, Knicks win. Final series score, 4-1. New York is NBA champion. When the final game buzzer blew, every Knicks player dropped to their knees on the court. Tears rolled down Jalen Brunson's face. This championship is far more than a ring. It heals 53 years of franchise scars, heals the painful 1999 finals loss, heals decades of terrible front office decisions, bad trades, and losing seasons. This title belongs to every Knicks fan living through the dark days. All right, everybody, take a deep breath. Now let's break down the full franchise history. The 1973 championship core roster, 53-year annual roster rotation, and front office changes, plus every key player's irreplaceable contribution in this 2025-26 title run. The last Knicks championship roster, 1972-73 season. 73 championship squad is the last Knicks title team before this year, coached by legendary head coach Red Holtzman. The Knicks beat Los Angeles Lakers 4-1 to claim the second franchise championship. This physical, defensive-oriented lineup defined the original New York tough basketball culture for decades. Willis Reed, center, Finals MVP, was the franchise spiritual leader, averaging 18.6 points and 12.6 rebounds per game. He was the iconic warrior who came back from severe injury to win the 1970 championship, the interior defensive backbone of the 70s Knicks. Walt Frazier, point guard, was one of the top two-way guards of the 1970s, putting up 16.3 points and 7.8 assists per finals game as the elite perimeter stopper of the league. Dave DeBusschere, power forward, was a league-elite blue-collar forward, serving as a reliable rebounder, defender, and spot-up shooter. Bill Bradley, small forward, worked as a sharpshooter and tactical playmaker, scoring 18.6 points per game as the core organizer of half-court offense. Earl Monroe, shooting guard, was an elite isolation scorer, acting as the secondary ball handler to relieve offensive pressure. 1973-2026, full roster changes and franchise ups and downs. Golden Age collapse, 1974-1990. Core championship players aged rapidly right after the 1973 title. Willis Reed suffered constant leg injuries. Walt Frazier declined sharply. The front office changed role players frequently, failing to rebuild a championship-level rotation. Throughout the 1980s, the Knicks stayed on the playoff bubble, lacking a franchise superstar, stuck as a mid-tier Eastern team with zero title competitiveness. Patrick Ewing era, the closest title shot, 1985 to 2000. New York selected Patrick Ewing with the 1985 #1 overall pick, opening the franchise's best revival window in 53 years. 94 season, Ewing led the team to the finals, lost to Hakeem Olajuwon's Houston Rockets in Game 7. His supporting roster included John Starks, Charles Oakley, and Anthony Mason. In the 1999 lockout season, the 8th seed Knicks made the famous conference dark horse run, advancing to the finals. Patrick Ewing tore his Achilles tendon in Eastern Finals. The injured Knicks lost 1-4 to San Antonio Spurs. This loss became the biggest regret in New York basketball history. In the year 2000, the front office traded Patrick Ewing away. The Ewing era ended officially, and the Knicks fell into 20 years of organizational chaos. Front office dark age, 2000 to 2020. This two-decade period is the worst era in Knicks franchise history, marked by messy roster moves and irrational contracts. First, Isaiah Thomas signed overpaid, inefficient contracts for stars including Stephon Marbury, Steve Francis, and Eddie Curry, dragging the team into continuous lottery seasons. Second, it was a short-lived superstar era. The Knicks signed Amare Stoudemire, traded for Carmelo Anthony, added Tyson Chandler to win 54 games in 2012-13. But locker room conflict and system mismatch stopped the team from advancing past Eastern Conference semifinals. Third, the team suffered frequent coaching changes. 7 head coaches were hired and fired within 10 years. There was no stable building plan, no fixed tactical system. Madison Square Garden was labeled the most expensive losing arena in the NBA. Precision rebuilding, 2020 to 2026, step-by-step roster upgrade. Leon Rose took office as team president in 2020, abandoning the old superstar spending model, building the team via targeted trades and free agent signings without sacrificing future first-round picks. 21. The team hired Tom Thibodeau, built defensive team culture, finished 41-41, and returned to playoffs for the first step of revival. In the 2022 offseason, the Knicks signed Jalen Brunson with a 4-year, $104 million deal. Dallas refused to offer matching salary, letting New York grab its future franchise leader easily. Brunson's father, Rick Brunson, joined the coaching staff to stabilize locker room chemistry. During 2023 midseason trades, New York traded Cam Reddish and a protected first-round pick for Josh Hart, adding tough rebounding and perimeter defense. Later, the team traded R.J. Barrett and Emmanuel Quickley to Toronto for OG Anunoby, upgrading elite wing defense. In the 2024 offseason core upgrade, the Knicks traded Julius Randle, Dante DiVincenzo, and a first-round pick for Karl Anthony Towns, solving the long-term floor spacing problem. The team acquired Mikal Bridges in follow-up trades to complete balanced two-way wing rotation. In 2025, the Knicks signed role players Jordan Clarkson, Jose Alvarado, and Landry Shamet. They won the NBA in-season tournament title, fell short to Indiana Pacers in Eastern Finals. 26 championship season, head coach Mike Brown took over, combining Thibodeau's tough defense and modern space offense. The 5 starters were all acquired via trades or free agency, 0 homegrown drafted starters, forming the finalized championship roster. 2025-26 Championship Core Player Contribution Breakdown. 1. Jalen Brunson, point guard, unanimous Finals MVP. He is the undisputed #1 leader of this championship team, averaging 27.8 points and 7.1 assists per regular game. He carried the team throughout the whole playoff run, claimed East Finals MVP, sweeping Cleveland. Brunson averaged 32.4 points and 7.6 assists per finals game. He scored 33 points in the historic 29-point comeback Game 4, dropped 45 road points in the series-clinching Game 5, taking 11 straight crunch-time points to seal the title. Brunson said after the game, "53 years of waiting. We brought New York basketball glory back home." Anthony Towns, center, second franchise option. He is the perfect modern stretch big man matching Brunson's offensive system, averaging 21.2 points, 10.6 rebounds, and 5.9 assists per finals game. He can shoot three-pointers, operate low-post offense, and run high-post playmaking. Towns was the only interior player who could trade buckets evenly with Victor Wembanyama. He fixed his defensive flaws this season, held San Antonio's paint offense under control. His 39.2% regular season three-point percentage opened up the whole Knicks pick-and-roll offense. 3. OG Anunoby, wing, defensive anchor, and game winner. He is a league-elite 3 and D wing. Anunoby guarded San Antonio's top perimeter scorer all finals long, cutting down the opponent's perimeter efficiency greatly. He hit the iconic putback game winner in Game 4's 29-point comeback, the most crucial play of the entire finals series. He averaged 16.8 points and 6.2 rebounds per finals game, delivering steady, tough performance in every high-stakes contest. 4. Mikal Bridges, small forward, two-way role glue player. He is the most reliable low-usage role player on the starting lineup. Bridges can defend from point guard to power forward, catch and shoot clutch three-pointers when Brunson gets double-teamed. He averaged 14.5 points per playoff game, committing almost 0 critical turnovers, linking the whole team's offensive flow perfectly. 5. Josh Hart, swingman, locker room soul, and blue-collar worker. He is the toughest player on the roster. Hart excels at offensive rebounding, perimeter rotation defense, and transition offense. He grabbed a critical late-game offensive rebound in Game 5 to lock the final victory. He averaged 9.7 points and 8.1 rebounds per playoff game, leading the team's physical defensive style every night. Key bench rotation contribution. Jordan Clarkson served as the sixth-man scoring threat, providing stable second-unit offense to build game leads. Jose Alvarado worked as a perimeter defensive pest, disrupting San Antonio's passing rhythm with aggressive on-ball pressure. Landry Shamet was a pure spot-up three-point shooter, punishing San Antonio's interior defensive shrinkage. Mitchell Robinson was the backup rim protector, defending Wembanyama inside when Towns rests on the bench. Historical meaning of this Knicks championship. First, the Knicks break the 53-year championship drought, setting the NBA all-time longest gap between two titles, breaking Milwaukee Bucks' 50-year previous record. Second, New York owns 3 franchise championships in 1970, 1973, and 2026, officially stepping into NBA elite historic franchise ranks. Third, the Knicks completed 27-year revenge against San Antonio Spurs, avenging the heartbreaking 1999 Finals defeat. Fourth, this title proves the effectiveness of trade and sign building mode. All 5 starters are external acquisitions, proving teams can contend without developing homegrown superstars. Last, the whole New York City held all-night celebrations. Madison Square Garden lit up blue and orange neon lights. Half-century fans' grief and disappointment faded away completely. A brand new golden era for New York Knicks basketball has officially arrived.